This is a short video on the charter amendments that will be on the February 18th ballot. This presentation has been put together by the Yes on Charter 2025 Issue Committee. The first of the 8 issues has to do with redistricting, and this is the districts that are used in voting. Right now, they can be redistricted every 2 years. Especially due to the rapid population, it actually could happen that often. However, the proposed amendment would limit it to occurring every 4 years. This allows us to have less cost to the town and less change in district boundaries. This amendment also looks at the redistricting for reasons other than growth. And right now these are set to be allowed every 6 years, but that would create a little bit of a misalignment with the redistricting due to population change. And then we look at term completion. Right now, an official can take an office even if they'll reach term limits midterm, and this proposed amendment prohibits individuals from taking the office in the first place if they're unable to finish the term without reaching term limits. This reduces unnecessary vacancies, special elections, and appointments. The 6.4 amendment has to do with candidates with felonies. Right now, we have a relocation. We have a section that is in a place where it should not be, and it's now getting moved to the right place. So this creates less confusion. The second part concerning candidates with felonies is that right now the current charter does not require background checks for candidates seeking appointment. And so this amendment fixes that. Also on this amendment about felonies, the charter currently disqualifies any candidate with any felony. However, the state constitution allows only some felonies to disqualify candidates. So this can create a constitutional crisis and can result in lawsuits and division within the community. So this amendment prevents a constitutional crisis, and so that minimizes it reduces the risk of lawsuits and community division. Let's see. Section 3.4 has to do with term limits. Several parts to this. One is that we're switching 2 adjacent subsections just to help them make sense. Right now in the charter, term limits are calculated differently if they're for elected terms, appointed terms, partial terms, or full terms. This clears that all up by calculating them based on years served. Individuals serving as either board member or as mayor may serve 10 consecutive years. However, individuals who have been served or do serve in both capacities have a term limit of 12 years. And so this clears up confusion about term limits, and it allows individuals to acquire up to 8 years of experience on the board before they decide to run for mayor. The Section 3.7a amendment is very similar to one that we just saw, which is that our charter states that a person who is in office currently, if they receive a felony or get convicted of a felony while they're in office, they can be removed. Again, that creates a constitutional crisis, so we're fixing that with this amendment, and it reduces risk of lawsuits and community division once again. This is a big one, the mayoral vacancies, Section 3.7b. So right now, if a mayoral seat is vacated, regardless of whether it's early in the term or late in the term, a replacement is appointed from among the board members. If that's done in the first half of the term, then there is another election midterm, and then there will be yet another election 2 years later at the start of the next full term. So this means that we have up to 2 years of somebody who's been appointed before. Well, yeah, it creates more turnover in the office. Currently, ordinances require that we have a 2/3 vote of all board members that are in office. However, if the board is highly divided, then the minority can force the board to cater to special interests. And that doesn't represent the electorate very well. So this fixes that undue influence of special interest by changing the vote required to a majority vote. This is consistent with what most municipalities and also the state government do. And the final ordinance has to do with the date, how many days after an ordinance is approved can it go into effect. Right now that's 10 days. And voters are allowed up to 30 days to file a referendum, and that means that an ordinance can go in effect before the referendum window closes. And so this fixes it by aligning those two windows. That concludes our presentation, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Our contact information is on the contact page. Thank you.